So to start out, when the brain is connected, normally there is a protective layer on the outside of the brain called the actinoid matter. With this brain, it's actually already been removed. And then, so when we move on from that, this first part is the cerebellum, and it is actually divided into two halves by the medial longitudinal fissure, which when it's put together, you can see right down here, it doesn't form correctly all the way together by that fissure. And then when we look at it, you can see grooves in the brain called sulci, like right here. And then you can see ridges, if we like kind of rotate it, the ridges right here called gyri in the cerebrum. And then in the cerebrum, we have different lobes. So this front lobe is a frontal lobe, which controls the motor function. And then next, right behind it, we have the parietal lobe, which receives and processes somatic sensory information. Then on the sides, right in here, we have the temporal lobe that receives and processes auditory sensations. And then back here, when this is combined, this is the cerebellum that controls and balances muscle coordination. And this one actually has a lobe in it, and it's the occipital lobe, which receives and processes sensations through the eyes. And then once we cut the brain open, we can see many more functions or grooves, I guess you could say, in the brain. And so if we start in the front, this would be the olfactory bulb right here, and then underneath it would be the optic nerve. But since it was cut, the optic nerve actually got removed, but you can see the optic chasma, whatever it's called, right in here, and that's where the nerves actually cross each other from one hemisphere to the other hemisphere. Then when we move back, you can see the corpus callosum right in here, and that is a long nerve tissue that actually connects the two hemispheres. When we started cutting it, you actually had to cut through it because it's a nervous band. And then we can go right in here in the side of the corpus callosum, and that's the septum pellucidum. And then right underneath the corpus callosum, right in here, is the third ventricle. And then right under that is a thymus right here. And then, my bad. Which is a sensory relay center. Then we can go down farther to the hypothalamus, which is responsible for regulation and maintenance of internal homeostasis. And then normally underneath it would be the hypophysis, but you can't really see it because it got cut off. And then when we go back up from the hypothalamus, you can see the pineal gland right in here, and that is an endocrine gland. Then we got the cerebral abduct, which connects, it's right in this groove, right in here, which connects the third and fourth ventricles, since the third one's right here, and then the fourth one lies right down in here. And then we got the midbrains, we got the pons, and then we got the medulla oblongata, and then we got the spinal cord. And when we go back to the pons connects the cerebellum to the cerebrum, or to the brain, and also to the spinal cord.